Hello and welcome to another map review from our Farming Simulator 2017 Mod Contest Best Map category review series. And we are looking at a map here called Southern Cross Station. This is an Australian map that we're going to look at. Very little information on this one in terms of the description on the mod site. You can obviously take a look at this. The details will be in the description when we sort of post the video, along with the link, and you can go vote should you so desire. Let's take a look at the errors as we load. We do have a missing PNG for dirt. That's it. This map was created by Hox23. It's the chap's name, and there doesn't appear to be anything erroring thereabouts. Hold on. We have a corrupt save game. That's fine. That is that could be a problem. Not sure though. They are in the save game, so they should be okay. They're not related to the map load. So let's just enable flight mode. And let's sort of hit yes. No. Where are we? Wow. Okay, we're at the top of something. So basically we're at the top of something. Quite high up, in fact. We can literally see the entire map. So, you know, when we do the flying thing, we've kind of already done it. In a sense. We're way up here. So whilst we're up here, let's take a look at the map and stuff, and then we'll move on. So we have standard fruit types. Here we go. We have a total of 22 fields. They are generally odd shapes. There are trees on the map, but there doesn't appear to be forestry in large scale, but we'll see in a minute. So we are in field 1, 19, 18, 16 and 21 plus field 5. So this group of fields on this map. We've got essentially the fields are all kind of on the outside, and then there's stuff on the inside. There's buildings and the like, and there could be a river as well. So there is stuff here. These are big fields, I think. They look pretty big. In terms of sell points, we have we have 9 sell points, and one of these sell points appears to be a rail only sell point. So we have no animals to start with. We have 100,000 on the silo capacity. It's not very big. Let's take a look at our vehicles. So we have a New Holland 8340, a Massey Ferguson MF 5600, a Case 1455 XL, and a New Holland T6. We have a Puma CVX, a T7, that's a Case Puma CVX, a New Holland T7 Heavy Duty. We have a stall front loader and some attachments. We have a Manitou telehandler with some attachments too. We have an SX210 Twin Star semi. We have a MF Activa 7347S combine, which is the 8600 litre combine. We actually have two of those. We have two 25-foot headers, and we have a Cramp Bandit SB 3060 trailer. We have a Vogel Newt Terradisc 600. We have two of those. We have two Lemkin Titan 11s. We have a Vodestad. We have two Vodestad Rapid A 600S Cedars. Two Brendel Case 165 fertilizer spreaders. Two Stilla 460s sprayers. We have a Pottinger Novacat 301ED and a Lely Spendimo 320 FC mowers. We have a single GA 9531 Kuhn windrower and a Pottinger Euroboss 330T forage trailer. We have a big baler 1290. We have a Metaltech PP20 ARG wagon. We have two of those. We have a Silokin Trailed Line Duo 1814, and we have an FST 990 fuel trailer. So quite a lot of gear, a lot of doubled up gear as well. From our vantage point here, we can see our little town that's been laid out. That's quite nice. We can see various things, but we're going to have to get down from up here because it's very high. Whoa! Boom. That was a grain elevator, and that is... I wonder how you can get up there. Well, we can fly, I guess. So this is a sale point that we're at the moment. The farm, I'm not sure where the farm is. The farm's up here. Seems we kind of are here. Let's just take a quick look around here, and then we'll head up to the farm. So this is Pacific Golden Grain. Basically, it's a grain sale location. There's a scale here as well. There is the rail drop-off here. So this is the rail drop-off that I mentioned. No, we can't go through there. So the railway line kind of runs through here. Got a BP garage over there. I am not sure if that's our wagon. It does look like our wagon. Western Star. So I've actually seen this as a mod that you can actually install this Western Star. But actually he's included as a fixed item. That's nice. This is the store. This is the sale point for vehicles via fine farming machinery. And there's various sort of things like John Deere's and stuff. I don't know what that is. It's a spreader, big open lot, Hox 23 tractors and engineering. This is the guy that made the map, Hox 23. Sort of standard sort of thing here. And Elders, I'm not sure what Elders is. But maybe it's I think it's a sell point actually. I think it could be hay and straw. That's what it is. It's your hay and straw sale point. Elders. So you can bring in your straw and drop it off here. We've got a bunch of petrol stations here. So gas station, this is our BP garage with a Wild Bean Cafe. I'm not sure they have the Wild Bean Cafe and BP garages in Australia. There's another petrol station over here. which is just one of these sort of things, and a little yard. That's actually at the end of the thing. We've got the Denton Bakery, so that's a drop-off point. The Rollo truck doesn't look like much like a bakery, to be honest, but there is the bakery bit over here, so it's kind of a big industrial bakery, to be honest. We can sell CPS slurry here. Crop Production Services is its the name. And it actually looks like it could be a purchase point as well, because we've got this thing and we might be able to fill up. And so that's the slurry, and then that is the animal dealer. So the big bronze cow has been taken off the roof and put on the ground, and 2 of them. This is actually pretty cool. This is a good animal dealer. I like this one. You got all you kind of so they've taken time to basically put all your animals in pens. You got all the rusty fence work, and it's got the loading locations here that you can essentially, effectively you would drive up to normally. You would load your animals, and you've got the kind of the sheds and the animals in the shed there as well. So it's actually really nicely done thing. Also, you've got the kind of entrance points in here as well. That's quite nicely done. The farm layout is we've got here. So that's the back of the bakery. What have we got over here? This, I think, is the spinnery. Yep, so this is the wool. Now, I wonder, have they changed the wool bales? Nope. Argenstad's Happy Sheep wool bales. So no, they haven't. Golden Yarn Spinnery. There we have it. This is the main street of the little town. You can see it runs down here. Again, these are sort of Goldcrest Valley kind of buildings. They don't look too out of place here, but they do look a little bit out of place in this sort of Australian setting. So they're not that bad, but I say they do look a little weird. I want to put a garden centre in what looks like a bank, Mapleville Bank, obviously. So yeah, it definitely looks really nice. Anyway, so that's a little town area. We've just checked that out. Let's head up to the farm and actually look around the farm now. So we've got a farmhouse here, and we've got a water pump, which is next to our water fountain there. It's kind of, we've got a plough, we've got some various silos and so on. It's very open. Not sure what everything's for. This is for something. It's a filler. We've got our tractors here. We have chickens somewhere. I'm trying to see where they are. We've got these sheds, kind of long sheds with everything in. Our chickens are back here. Oh no, this is our sheep. So this is Australia, so I'd expect sheep to be big, and no, not as big as I thought they might be, but we've got a different kind of hut here for the sheep. That's kind of cool. Much like the one of the British mats we reviewed earlier had a sheep dip, which was pretty cool. This doesn't, but it does have this kind of this is where essentially you would actually do your sheep shearing. So effectively it's the hut that you do your sheep shearing in. Obviously you we've just run inside it, but effectively what would happen is you'll bring your sheep in through here. You'd have your room which you shear your sheep, and then you'd let them out through those little sort of gangways there. So that's how it would normally work. And there's our chickens. So it's got quite an open farm yard here. I'm just trying to figure out where everything is. So that's the shed there. We've got a straw bale stack there, but I'm not sure what it's for. I think it's just decoration. These are definitely not something we can actually use. So we have a river, and the river seems to cut the farm in half. How will we cross the river? I don't know. But other than walking through it, or in our case swimming, that is it. On the other side of the river is the rest of the farm almost. So we've got more, we've got pigs over here. This is our pigsty, kind of traditional pigsty for farming sim. Little huts, the feeding troughs and so on. We've got a little covered area because it is Australia after all, so it does get sunny and pigs get sunburned. We've got a farm silo by the looks of it, of some kind, I think. I'm guessing anyway. Got a storage shed, nothing in this one. Our silo king is in here. More equipment, telehandler. Balers over there, some more sheds, and our cows are here. Standard cow shed. And our manure and slurry. Again, we've got the cattle loading arrangement here, which is actually kind of cool. This is the loading arrangement for the cows. So that's cool. We can walk through the fence, strangely enough. I guess this is for loading for the manure, which is kind of handy because I do not like loading manure with a wheel loader. Because essentially it's a pain lifting it, and that does help when you have one of those. Lots of vehicles around here, farmhouses over here as well. Kind of Goldcrest farmhouse. Let's see, do we have a nice sign here? Does it say authorised vehicles only? No nice sign. Some big sheds over here. This is actually where our semi-trailer and trailer is. This is the twin start. More sheds, more equipment. I do like this shed, it looks nice. Nice and new and fresh. One of the reasons why we've got double equipment is literally because it's split across the river, essentially. I'm not sure how we cross that. We'll find out in a little while. So that's kind of this farm element done. Let's sort of jump around. So we've missed the Stanton sawmill, we missed the McLean biogas plant. So let's pop over to the biogas plant. Standard biogas plant here. Pretty much actually the standard 2017 biogas plant to the kind of layout is exactly the same. The placement of everything is the same. It's the same lot. Even the entranceway is the same. It's next to some of the buildings, which we'll take a look at shortly. Above ground silo king, digestate over there, and we've got silage clumps. There's pretty much standard stuff. Nothing really different in this. Seeds and fertilizer apparently, but I'm not sure. We've got some storage sheds there. So there's quite a lot of storage sheds on this map. We have trains. So we have trains. We have 2 trains by the looks of it. And I think that is how we actually get stuff from one side of the map to the other. I think on this map, trains are super important. So what I'm going to do, just to kind of test this out, I'm actually going to try this. Just have a look. So we're on the south side of the river at the moment. There is the farm over there that we were just in, and we are going to fly by with the train. That wasn't even down before we actually went past. There is a weirdness with that. This is a really long train. This is pretty long. So we are going this way. Not sure where we're going. Okay, this is dropping off at the Mayfield thing, so this is actually past the starting point where we came into the map, and we're going around the edge here. I don't know if we go north of the map, north of the river, sorry, on this train. You'll find out, I guess, shortly. So there's field 20. It's quite a big field. Quite a big field. So I am thinking this map does require the train system to actually make things work. We are kind of flying around now, and just kind of looking around. We're going to go through another. This is a grain storage and drop-off location. This is not a sale point, so that we're flying through now. This is where you can load up your train from your grain on this side, and then basically drop it off at the main sale point. So far I haven't seen any road crossings of this river. We're crossing it now on the train, and I think the train is the only way to cross it. I actually think that this is the only way to cross it. Oh no, that is the road crossing. The road crossing is there. So quite literally the road crossing is pretty much. Now that's going to slow down. So this is the other one. So yeah, the road crossing is actually there by the thing. So it does allow you to cross, but I think it's going to be a long trip to move from north of the river to south of the river. Anything, and this basically goes around this part of the map. So when we look at this, this actually just goes off to the top parts of the map, and I think at the top parts of the map we've got some things that we can yes, some buildings and so on. So not much space on this map for placeables. I think there's pretty big fields, pretty, I would say, billiard board flat fields as well. These are flat fields. There is a road network. It's just not trivial. The train network might actually be the best way to move stuff quickly. We're coming up on a storage and rail sort of transfer point, so this is where you can load up. There is nothing here to do other than just load up. There's no sale point. And then this train goes all the way back down through the map. The road kind of cuts down the middle there, and the rail loop goes around the outside of the map. You can see that's a big field, so we're looking at down on big, field 2 is huge. field, this is field 10 and so on. There's a ditch there, so you can't even merge those two fields together. You can't merge those either because there is a road, although you might be able to. No, that's definitely all road. So that's unfortunate. This is intriguing because there's field here, field 13, and the railway line cuts through it. There must be a crossing point somewhere down here. Definitely, it's an interesting map. It's pretty well done. Right. We're going to kind of jump out at Stanton Sawmill. So that's the crossing point into field 13. So there's some wagons there left. The sawmill actually goes, has the railway line. This is why this one has the wood trailers. We're going to drop out literally here and let that go past. It's probably going to stop right in our way, but it's because it's a really long train. And this is the sawmill. So let's just get that out of the way. Standard sawmill, sell point for wood. There we go. This, I'm not sure what that is, but there's another exclamation mark in a tree. Porta potty. Somewhere around here is wood chip sales. There we go. And there is the bridge, and there is the town. Again, and that kind of goes over there. There's a few more town elements there. So quite a well spaced out map, I'll give you. Let's drop into one of these tractors and take a look at courseplay. So field sizes. Field 1 is 6.01 hectares. Field 5 is 5.3. 16 is 2.59. 18 is 6.46. 19 is 4.48. 21 is 10.64. And that's all the fields you own. So of these fields, there's some good sizes there. Interestingly, there's two above the river. So there's equal number above and below the river. So you essentially operate two farms. Let's take a look at a couple of the other fields that you could buy. This one is 40 hectares, field 2. It's a nice big one. Oops, and it's a £3 million field. Let's take a look at field 20, which is south of the river, as it were. That one is 18.57 and it's 1.5 million. So that's a good size field. Let's have a look at field 11. Field 11 is 20.91 hectares and it will cost you 1.6 million. So there's definitely some meat in the size of the fields, but it's going to cost you to buy these fields. They're not cheap. So with that, let's just quickly take to the air and have a look from the air, but we've kind of seen it from the air, from the vantage point over the town. That massive grain elevator. This is it's a flat map, totally billiard board flat. I mean, look at that. Even with the border, the kind of the fake border, it actually looks bigger when you look at it like this. It actually looks like it goes on and on and on. That is kind of impressive. It's a really interesting effect that the guy's done here, but it looks like it's going on into the distance. Really nice map. As I say, not a huge amount of space for placeables. But that said, it's flat, so you could take one of these smaller fields and turn them into a placeables location. That there are possibilities with this field, this map. You could do that. With a nice flat map, you get the ground modification mod out, so you can put tarmac down and so on, and you could effectively take a field, level it, turn it into an industrial park or something like that. You've got a nice little town. The town's actually really well sort of apportioned. I do like it. There are some possibilities to do stuff with this map. Personally, I might, if I was playing this map, I would tweak some things. I'd make space for placeables, and I'd basically set some stuff up like that. Kind of funnily, everything is clustered in this sort of middle area. You don't have to drive up here. The only reason you have stuff up here, especially this element, is because you could be working this massive field here and your combine is stuck up here. And so you unload up here to your trains and your trains bring it down. So yeah, it's an interesting map. Definitely worth looking at. I'm going to give this one, I think I'm going to give this actual 5 stars. I am impressed with this map. It's actually kind of interesting, and it actually is, it does remind me a lot of Australia. So I'm going to give this one 5 stars. It is very, very, very reminiscent of the Australian countryside. It does actually make me think this is Australia, and not a European map or even an American map, because of just the way it's kind of laid out, and the way this sort of the bigness is basically kind of clustered. This is how Australian farms are laid out, and such like, especially in the middle. Because you've got so much space, you don't have small farmyards, you have massive farmyards, and your towns are like this, and that's it. They don't, because you've got you're in the middle of nowhere. The one thing I would say with this map is the custom road train map, pack will basically, that will be something you'll want to use on here, because if you're going to move stuff, you want to road train, just like you have these very long trains to move stuff. The road train from the custom road train pack would probably be an extremely useful addition. So with that, I think we'll draw this one to a close. Thank you for watching. If you found this review useful, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of this series, we will have loads more of these videos. I think we're about halfway through, so watch out for the remainders. And with that, thank you for watching, and goodbye.